You know, it's very funny how we can get used to almost anything. Even the things that quietly bothers us. Child, for me, it is clutter. If you know me though, you know that that is the furthest thing from who I am. I like order. I like things to have a place. You know what I say? I'm the kind of person who washes my dishes even before me leave out of the kitchen. So if I cook, I'm not going to sit down and enjoy my meal unless I wash up the plate. No, that's just who I am. So every single day that I walk past this mound in my house of clutter, I feel it every day. Not just because I just look over there and see it, but it's how it makes my body feel. Because I just know it's not supposed to be there. But in this season of my life, things kind of stay different. Yeah, man. As I finish one event, and before me can even properly put away anything, there's another one on the threshold. And so another box will come in, and then another, and a roll of fabric. And before you know it, this is now my reality. Every day I'd walk past it and say, I'll get to it. When I get a little break, I will sort it out. Hey girl, this is not what it has become. You know what I say? I just can't find the time. Sometimes life doesn't even wait for you to catch your breath. Sometimes it just keeps coming at you. Let me tell you something. In this season, that is exactly what has been happening. The work kept coming, and by God's grace we give thanks. The events kept coming. The deliveries kept coming, because if you know, you have to shop online, you have to shop locally if you have events coming up. And so I did what most of us would do. I just adjust to living with this big mound of clutter in my living room. Oh my God. I work around it, I step over it, I look past it, and every single day it reminded me that it was there. It was almost like carrying something very heavy on my shoulder every God Almighty day. Jesus. When me tell us the weight heavy. Heavy. Eventually, I got a little window I had been waiting for, and I didn't waste it. I decided that I was gonna start. So we packed away the stuff, we dusted, we swept, we cleaned, and of course, my trusted little sidekicks in there go come help me, because your girl, me there lick out her knee. That is a horse of another color. I work on a project and feel like somebody, me there at gym every day, so I'm supposed to can squat, and me attempted to squat while I was doing this project. Squat for a long time, days at a time. And in the moment I didn't feel anything. And then 2 days after that, my knee was like, girl, you're not 30. So my knee rebelled, and so I had to, we talk about that one next time. So I put everything back where it belonged, and when I was finished, the whole room exhaled. I could feel the weight lift from my shoulders. That's honestly the best way I can describe it. The room could breathe again. And I think so did I. For the first time in months, I was not looking at boxes. I wasn't looking at supplies. I was mentally making another list of what still needed to be done. I just sat in the quiet and looked around the room. So the room exhaled, and so did I. I took it all in. Really seeing every inch of the space now. Not rushing through it at all. And I just sit down, have my little cup of tea, and I just looked around. I wasn't thinking about the next job. I was just being there. And then my eyes settled on a floral arrangement that my daughter had gotten. And so usually when she gets them, she will give them to me to take care of. And the strange thing is sitting on the entrance table. So I'd walk past it every day, and you know, I would even care for it. I'd take it up, water it, and put it back. I'd make sure that the plant was okay, didn't want it to topple over or anything, so I would just place it back in its place. But I never took the time to stop and look at the petals. The color scheme is a beautiful, and you can see it, purple, mix of soft purples, and purple is actually my favorite color. But I was too busy. I never took the time to even look at the arrangement properly. Some of the flowers had started to fade. New ones had opened. Life had quietly carried on. And I had missed it. I noticed it this day though. Not because I didn't care, because my attention had been consumed by something else. Oh my God. And that's when it hit me. The clutter is a story by itself, but that's not the whole story. It was just the loudest part of the story itself. And as long as it was there, that's all I could see. That's where my attention went. That's where my frustration went. That is where my anxiety lived. So naturally, I thought once I had cleared it, everything would feel right again. But you know, that's not what happened. Yesterday, the room felt lighter. My anxiety eased. But underneath all of that, something else was waiting. And I didn't know. Something that had nothing to do with boxes. Nothing to do with the supplies, you know. Nothing to do with events. I also realized in that moment too, was something that was difficult for me to admit. I had spent years creating a space that worked, a space that welcomed people, a space that served everybody who came into it. But somewhere along the way, that space didn't welcome me at all. I didn't feel like I belonged. I hadn't created a space for me. I don't think I realized how long I have been carrying that feeling. Because the clutter had been so loud, I never had a chance to hear anything underneath it. Listen, the floral arrangement just withered and it faded, patiently waiting for me to slow down long enough to notice it. You know, I thought that this reset was about cleaning up the room. It wasn't. It was about uncovering a truth that had been quietly waiting for me all along. And I don't have all the answers yet, but I finally know the question I'm asking. The question I'm asking is that I have a really great way of creating experiences for people, creating spaces for people, but I hadn't created a space for myself. And after the clutter was removed, I realized what was there all along was just a space that entertained persons, allowed persons to live comfortably and just to interact. But that space is where I spend most of my time. But it was not curated for me. It was not for me. maybe that's enough for this season.